mulch, gravel, or lay down decorative stone, all available for pickup and delivery. Discover your dream landscape with Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Imagine the moment you proudly pull up to your home that you've worked so hard for, enhanced by quality mulch, decorative stones, and more. Let's make it happen today. Request a quote online at earthworkspc.com or swing by the office at 2005 Industrial Drive. Love the land you live on.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Inside Drive. Live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. It's the next evolution of Sports Talk Radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got in the bag.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good morning, Northwest Florida. This is James Fife, and you are tuned in to the Inside Drive, live from the Gulf Plus studios right here in beautiful Panama City, 104.3, 101.9 in Port St. Joe. And of course, you can text the show. You can call the show 850-215-6290. It is Friday, May 2nd. That means it is the first weekend in May. So the Kentucky Derby is coming up this weekend. We'll talk about that later. What's happening in town this weekend? Well, it is Thunder Beach this weekend. So all the bikes in town. So everybody take your time getting around town. There's going to be not a little bit more traffic, a lot more traffic out there. Be patient, everybody. Come on. You don't got to be in a rush to get everywhere. I ran into that this morning.
You guys that are on the motorcycles.
Yeah,
they make as many mistakes out there as you captains that are on the front of these rides that you guys are doing. You captains, you need to keep your group together and not try and pull everybody out. I know you're trying to keep your group together, but they'll pull out 6, 7, 12 motorcycles, and they'll all follow them without even looking, because the captain pulled out, and they'll all just follow right behind him. And I almost killed 4 of them this morning, and that was at 6 o'clock this morning. So, and we could open up the windows and hear the ambulance.
Oh yeah, we heard
even
them.
as we speak. So that kind of sucks. So yeah, be careful.
Yeah, everybody. I said everybody.
The life you saved could be mine.
Exactly. The life you saved can be yours, can be your daughter's, can be a total stranger. Let's just protect all those lives out there. Be safe, everybody. Look over your shoulders. Use your rear view mirrors. And like I said, slow down, man. Everybody. You live here, you don't live here. You're on vacation, slow down here. Especially if you are on vacation. Slow down and enjoy it. Because if you're rushing through it, your vacation will be done in no time. You don't want that, do you?
Absolutely not.
No, you don't. All right, so what do we got going on today? We're going to be discussing some baseball, of course. We'll have a Braves update on a Friday. We'll get into some news, things like that. Kentucky Derby this weekend, like I said, so I will be making my predictions later with that. And at 12:20, we will be joined, as always on a Friday, by the owner of Instant Replay, Aaron Bearden. And make sure you download our app. All you got to do is you head over to your Google Play Store, you head over to the Apple Store. ESPN Northwest Florida is the app you are looking for. Download the app, and right now we have a contest running through the app. All you do, you open the app, hit the Enter Contest button. That's it. You're done. You're entered. Got a chance to be winning some great T-shirts from ESPN and Buffalo Rock. So what are we going to start with? Let's see. We'll start with Paul. Hey, Paul. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing great today. Having a great day on a Friday. Schmitty, how you doing on a Friday?
Hanging in there, man. It's been a long day.
Long day.
Started at 4:30 this morning, so.
And what's that?
I start yawning.
I don't even know what a 4:30 is.
Where do you drive? Where do you drive down here from?
I'm up in Fountain. It's about an hour drive for me to get here, so it's not too bad. When I do the mornings, it's a little bad because I'm probably waking up at 5.
Yeah.
To get here, it's 6:30. So
deal with the fog and then this and then that. It was foggy this morning, so I had to get up a little bit early. But yeah, 4:30 for me to get here on time.
Well, yeah, not me. That's too early for me, man. Yeah. I am not a morning person.
You're not going to put in to take over the Coach James Hale show whenever he retires.
Schmitty,
No?
I believe in you.
No. 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 Not going to happen.
All right, let's start off. Let's start the show off with some local sports. Paul, hit us with it.
All right, so last night, Arnold, they got it done.
Nice.
11-1. Eli Blair and Austin Hendricks both left the yard last night for Arnold, and then Cooper Moss, which you've heard that name before.
Yes, we have.
Dominant pitching performance. Him and Jackson Ross also combined to only give up 1 run. So they move on. Come Monday and Tuesday night over at Arnold, they want everybody to pack the house out and go on over there. And then also last night, Bozeman
The Bucks.
pulled off another one, 3-0. Scored early, 2-0 was enough. But
you
they
go.
won 3-0. They were phenomenal. So they are pushing into. I know I heard Coach this morning talk about that they're the champions for the public school, but
But
they're having to play in all the private schools.
Private schools, and they're going
So
to
they're
have to
getting it
travel,
done.
3 times to Jackson or something like that. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So they're getting it done, which is awesome.
$3,000 a bus trip.
There you go.
It's just nuts.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, but they're knocking it out of the park. They're playing some good baseball. Very good time to peak right now. Is playing good baseball and handling
regionals.
the business.
Heading into
Yeah.
playoffs like we are, best time.
Best time
to be playing
to
best baseball.
That's right. So they're doing wonderful over there. So if you get a chance, go check them all out. I mean, that $3,000 ride is a nice little poke away, but, go cheer on the Bozeman baseball team. And if you're available Monday and Tuesday, come on out and see Arnold and cheer them on to push them through. Hopefully they'll get on past the Elite Eight and move on into state championship contention.
Get on down to South Florida and have some fun, right?
Have some fun, yeah.
Right. So those were elimination games last night.
Yes.
So that means moving on.
Moving on. That's right.
Excellent. Love it when the local sports are making us look good up here in Northwest Florida. And hey, it's those kids out there working hard to get there.
That's right. Just playing hard, and all of those practices early on, having to go to school plus practice, it's paying off for them.
It's working, man. And
Yeah.
it's a good thing. So it gives us more to talk about, too. And we love talking about all of our local little sports around here, because without them, we wouldn't be here right now.
That's right.
Because all of those pro athletes, do you know where they started? They started out as local high school kids.
That's right.
That's where they are. So, hey, you want to see the future? The future's here. The future's now. Go watch Arnold this coming up on Monday, Tuesday. So,
That's
hey,
right.
let's
Get
go.
your autographs early.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's true.
It's true.
It is true.
Just
Just look at Cooper Moss, man.
Oh, yeah, look at Cooper
get his
Moss.
autograph
that'll
now.
be a great one to grab. That'd be a great one to grab right
Yeah,
now.
well,
So I got a quick story about that one.
Oh, yeah?
So we were checking out Arnold playing early on in the season, and he had hit his school record home run, and one of the little kids was able to go and give it, and his mom gave the little kid like some money or something like that so that she could get that home run ball. And then I'm sure that the kid got a signed ball later on that night, but that was pretty
That's
cool.
a great story.
I mean, that would be great to, my son was there and he was running, and I was like, what happened? He said, well, I'll let him have it. I was like, well, son, those are not the type that you let your buddies have. You should have went ahead and fought for that one.
That's
would've
one
been
that
a
you
good
go, ooh, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool, this is cool. Grab
yeah,
it.
grab it. So that night was pretty cool. Him hitting that home run and one of the kids getting it and going through the woods back there in the back and coming and giving it to mom.
Yeah.
That was a great little special moment for the Moss family over there.
Yeah, because it's like a full Easter egg hunt there when you get over the fence there. It's not
yeah.
it's not like woods. It's like trees, woods, forest.
Oh yeah, no, it was definitely. It had rained a little bit that night too, so it was wet and all that. So the kid earned that, however much she gave him. So that was pretty cool story for that night.
Right on. Any other good local sports, or are we going to move on?
We're going to move on.
We are moving on. Let's talk Major League Baseball. We'll go with yesterday's scores. That was May 1st. So the Cubs take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cubs defeat the Pirates 8-3. Paul Skeens just getting shelled in the fifth inning. 3 home runs for the Cubs in the fifth inning, including Tucker and Suzuki, Seiya Suzuki going back to back in the fifth inning. Paul Skeens 3 for 3 on the season, still has an ERA that's somewhere hanging around 2. So what you're seeing there is you're seeing good pitching numbers, but you're not seeing wins. That's just telling you that the Pirates are not crossing the plate to give them some runs.
No, he's definitely the one. I mean, he's the youngest and just, I mean, a bright star over there for the Pirates, but they need to get some help at the plate. I mean, O'Neill's having a good year. They moved him from shortstop and put him in center field, and he's tearing the cover off the ball, but other than that, that's the only run support he's getting.
Yeah, Kutch is doing all right,
He's
but I mean,
doing okay.
you can't say, hey, 40-year-old guy,
Right.
carry the team on your back. He's more of at this point in his career, he's more of a locker room guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still putting up good enough numbers to be on the 26-man roster.
Yeah.
But it's not his to carry at this point,
No.
and it shouldn't be.
No.
So, but again, that's the Pirates, and Bob Nutting putting together what he does,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
because that's always entertaining. Moving on to the next game, we had the Kansas City Royals taking on the Tampa Bay Rays in the Steinbrenner Stadium down in Tampa. Royals defeat the Rays 8-2. The Cardinals taking on the Cincinnati Reds in an NL Central battle. The Cardinals came out with 1 run, the Reds 9. That's kind of a reverse role of the last 2 games that were played in that series, where the Reds lost both of those games. Again, an opposite score of this one, 9-1, and then it was like an 8-2 or something. So nice to see the Reds kind of getting back onto a track of playing some better baseball. Diamondbacks take on the New York Mets up in New York. The Diamondbacks win the game 4-2. Juan Soto gets 2 homers in the game, and they are his first homers since signing with the Mets in City Park. So
Finally.
yeah, finally he's hitting home runs at home. He's been hitting some home runs on the road, just hasn't been entertaining the home field fans as much. Minnesota Twins taking on the Cleveland Guardians. That game went into extra innings to see the Guardians win 4-3. The White Sox coming back with another win, 8-0 over the Brewers. That gives the White Sox 2 big old wins in a row. That's newsworthy in and of itself. The Athletics of they don't want us to use a name. So the Athletics taking on the Texas Rangers. The Athletics 3, Texas Rangers nothing at home. Nationals taking on the Phillies. Nationals defeat the Philadelphia Phillies in Philadelphia 4-2. Boston Red Sox traveling north of the border to take on the Blue Jays in Toronto. Toronto comes away with the win 4-2. Tigers Angels, a game in which we see Mike Trout leaving. Poor old Mike.
Again.
Poor old Mike. Tigers win the game 10-4 over the Angels. And other big news for the bottom of the barrel teams. The Colorado Rockies taking on the Giants in San Francisco. Rockies get their second road win of the season. 4-3 over the Giants. That's 2 wins in a row for the Rockies, up to 6 wins on the season.
So you got the Rockies winning 2 in a row and the White Sox winning 2
winning 2 in a row.
What do we have here?
We got some playoff pushes happening.
I'm telling you what, that's what it sounds like to me.
You know what we're seeing right there? We're seeing the upcoming World Series. How about that?
Whoa.
All right, I'll slow down a little bit on that one. Games coming up tonight, this Friday, all night games. There are no afternoon games today, so we are all looking forward for the night. Tampa Bay Rays will be taking on the New York Yankees in New York. That game is set for 6:05. Dodgers Braves, and you can hear that game right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We will have coverage beginning at 6. First pitch, 6:15. Braves heading back home to take on the Dodgers. It will be a weekend series, 3 games, Braves-Dodgers. All games can be heard right here, ESPN Northwest Florida. 7:10 this evening, we will see the Cubs taking on the Brewers in Milwaukee. Nationals taking on the Cincinnati Reds in Cincinnati. That game is slated for 5:10. The San Diego Padres taking on the Pittsburgh Pirates. That game will be at 5:40. Diamondbacks taking on the Phillies, 5:45 first pitch. Royals-Orioles tonight, 6:05 live from Baltimore. Guardians-Blue Jays at 6:07. Twins-Red Sox, 6:10. Athletics taking on the Marlins at 6:10. And a 17-15 Athletics and a 12-18 Marlins. I did not see either of those teams having that kind of, wins at this point in the season. I kind of saw them together maybe having 17 wins.
Yeah, that was a shocker to me. But remember the other day when we were talking, the shortstop for the Athletics, his name is Jacob Wilson, no relation, but he is phenomenal. He's one of those guys that's playing himself into a huge contract. He's going to be a star one day, and he's one of the ones that's really pushing the Athletics up. I mean, he's playing some really good baseball. So come out of, I think it was Grand Canyon University.
There you go.
So just a no-name type player coming in, doing so well and just hitting the baseball. Not a lot of home runs, but putting the ball in play, more like a Tony Gwynn style player, just a base hitter, and just really leading the Athletics over there.
Yeah, not everybody needs to hit home runs. I mean, it's the day and age, the current thought process is everybody needs to hit home runs. But let's face it, home runs will get you more runs if there are more people on base.
That's right. And it'll get more people in the stands.
I think so, too.
I mean,
totally
people like
agree with that
to
one.
see the home runs for sure.
Totally agree. Astros White Sox will be taking place tonight. That game is coming to you from the south side of Chicago, slated for a 6:40 first pitch. Mariners are taking on the Texas Rangers. That's a 7:05 first pitch. Mets Cardinals, 7:15. Tigers Angels, that's an 8:38. And the nightcap for tonight, the Colorado Rockies in San Francisco to take on the Giants. That game is set to start at 9:15. So a little bit of a late night there, but nothing too bad. So hopefully some good baseball games heading on out there tonight. Let's move on over to, we'll discuss the scores from last night for the NBA in the NBA playoffs. Last night, 2 games. 2 possible elimination games. Only one actually turned into an elimination game, and that was the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. New York Knicks on the road in Detroit take the 116 victory over the Pistons at 113. So Knicks moving on.
Moving on
for the Knicks. It's been a while since we've seen the Knicks make it to the second round. Been even longer since we've seen the Knicks make it to a East championship. Been even longer since we've seen the Knicks in a championship game. Is this the year for it? A lot of people are saying so. I've not kept up with the Knicks too hard, but yeah, they got through step 1, which is round 1.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that they have the team to do it necessarily. I think last night was a coaching error for the Detroit Pistons. Their best player, Brunson, he has the ball with 10 seconds to go, and there's no double coverage. There's nothing. They just leave him one-on-one, and he hits the 3 to take the lead, and in essence, it ends up being the game winner. So, I mean, he had 40 last night, and it just seems like for them, so goes the Knicks, so goes Jalen Brunson, because the nights that he doesn't play well, they do not win. I mean, obviously, your best player, that's usually the case, but I don't think that they have the firepower outside of him. So they're going to run into the Boston Celtics come second round. So I think the end of the road is near for them. I don't think they have the firepower to go against the Celtics. It'd be a very shocking. I would say that'd have to be the major upset if they were to go in and beat Boston. They're just too much for what I believe the Knicks have at this point. So.
Been a fun story, though.
It's been fun. It's been fun while it lasted. I mean, I guess we're already, condemning them to bow out. And, if we come back and we're wrong, then, maybe we'll eat some pie that day or something.
Oops, my bad. Yeah, Boston wasn't all that great. What did I say? No.
Not good at all.
Hey, erase that tape, Smitty. We don't need people to hear that later. All right.
Hit the delete button.
Second game of the night coming from the West in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets traveled out to Los Angeles. Sorry, not Los Angeles. They're in Inglewood now. They got their own arena, don't they?
They do, but it's still considered
Los Angeles. But the Clippers coming back and getting the win, 111 to 105. That makes the series tied at 3-3, and we get to have that thing that we love most in the playoffs, Game 7. Oh, yeah. And that Game 7 will be in Denver, and it will be Saturday night. So I am kind of looking forward to that one. It's not going to be my game of the weekend, but it is going to be a great game over the weekend. Clippers, man, just hanging in there.
They are.
Hanging in there. I was expecting the Clippers to have this, get swept. I figured, 4 games, Nuggets be moving on fairly easily here. Then I saw them, they got one. I was like, okay, they're just getting the gentleman's sweep so the Nuggets can have Game 5 at home and win in front of the fans and all that stuff. And, I'm just turning out to be wrong.
Yeah.
And that the Clippers are a team.
They are. And I hate to say this all over again, but it's the beard, James Harden. I mean, he's like night and day. The night that he plays very well, they win. And last night was that night. He played excellent. I mean, he was taking the ball to the hole like the old Oklahoma days whenever he was over there with them. And, the thing is that I just don't see them being able to do 2 in a row like that. I don't see Harden being able to come back again and emulate the same type of play that he had last night. So I'm going to say that the Nuggets are going to move on. The night before when they played, when I believe it was Joker and, the other guy left my mind, played at Kentucky. I can't think of, he scored 43 the other night. But anyway, he was dominant. And I believe that the Clippers, although they played good, I think they're done after tomorrow night.
All right, so that was our NBA update, MLB update for the playoffs. We're going to head on into the break. This is the Inside Drive coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios here in beautiful Panama City. When we get back, we'll have a little bit of a Braves update, and we'll talk more sports, of course.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the Man Cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, some sun and a high of 80 with a moderate breeze around 13 miles per hour out of the south. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low near 72. Tomorrow, partly cloudy in the morning, but otherwise a chance of thunderstorms and a high around 79. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Signworks, a business serving businesses since 1985. Everything from signs and banners, vehicles and boats, magnetic and real estate signs, contractor signs, and much more. Signworks can do large format, full color printing too. Signworks, a real professional in the business world. Call Signworks at 785-8899. Signworks, 850-785-8899.
Peach Pizza, formerly Marcy's Pizza, is back with more hours and more pizza. Peach Pizza has new owners and now open every day, 11 to 11. Pizza by the slice, whole pies, wings, pretzels, garlic knots, and more choice eats in East PCB. I finally tried a slice, and it was a thin crust, totes, cheesy slice of paradise. 8815 B Thomas Drive. Online at beachpizzapcb.com. Call ahead, 850-775-4053.
Broadcasting from the Golf Plus studios, it's the Inside Drive. Now back to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
It's alive! What's alive? We're alive!
On ESPN Northwest Florida.
You are tuned in to the Inside Drive from the Golf Plus studios right here in beautiful Panama City, Northwest Florida. You can find us on the dial 104.3 if you are in the Panama City area, 101.9 the Forgotten Coast in Port St. Joe. You can call us. You can text us 850-215-6290. And if you need any golf needs, you need clubs, you need fittings, you need repair, maybe you just want to go in and talk some golf with somebody. They love doing that over there at Golf Plus. So make sure you go visit Alan Watson at the shops at Edgewater or up there in Dothan off of Montgomery Highway. So we're going to move into a little bit of Braves talk because this is the home for the Braves on the Gulf Coast, ESPN 104.3 right here in Panama City. Tonight's game will be at 6:15. We will join the pregame festivities at 6 o'clock after the afternoon underdogs. So over the last week, the Braves looking pretty good. You know, a 4-2 record over the week. Not bad. 2 wins against the Rockies. 2 wins against the Diamondbacks on a, I don't want to call it a West Coast swing. We'll call it a Mountain West swing. So that was nice to see. Nice to see the Braves getting everything back into a winning way. Now, we're as closer to 500 a few days ago when they were 14-15 at the Rockies, but now 14-16, but still stepping in the right directions after having that pretty bad first week. So let's see if the winning ways can keep on going. They will be taking on the Dodgers. 3-game homestand over the weekend. All the games can be heard right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Dodgers been looking pretty good over the past week as well. Going to bring that up. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 wins and 1 loss over the last week for the Dodgers. They were taking on the Pirates. That's where they got 2 of the wins, and they were taking on the Marlins. Yeah, so that's why you got 3 wins in a row right there. It was the Marlins. So, yeah, did fairly well against the Marlins. First game, Marlins hung around on them, 7-6 in 10 innings, 15-2, then 12-7. Yeah, Marlins. Whew. I don't know if Marlins bad or Dodgers good on that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm going to say that's probably a combination of both.
Yeah,
right
it has
there.
to be.
So we are looking forward to those games this weekend. Standings in Major League Baseball right now are as follows. We'll start off with the National League East, where our Atlanta Braves are playing. The New York Mets are 21-11, Philadelphia Phillies 17-14, Braves 14-16, Nationals 14-18, Marlins 12-18. So basically every team right now is at the 30-31 game mark. So we're exactly 1 month into this baseball season. Any surprises coming at you there, Paul?
No, I don't think so. I think everybody's kind of playing to suit for most of it. You know, I thought the Mets would probably would probably win early like they have, and with Soto there, I think they've just added, more of the excitement to their team already. So I think they're doing well. The Marlins, as you spoke, they usually stay in the cellar. So, I mean, it's kind of par for the course right now. And I think that, as the injuries happen, as they always do, and then, some of the surprises happen, and then your big money guys, they're going to always, most of the time, perform. So I think you're going to start seeing the teams kind of separate, the pretenders to the contenders.
Yep. And for me, what I'm seeing here is the Marlins with their 12-18 record. That's a little surprising to me. I thought they would not have that many wins. But if you look at it, the Marlins right now are on a 5-game losing streak. So maybe they're just falling back into their usual ways now. We'll just see how that plays out. Moving along into the rest of the National League. In the Central, the Cubs in first place at 19-13. The Reds 17-15. The Milwaukee Brewers have made it back to 500 at 16-16. St. Louis Cardinals 14-18, Pittsburgh Pirates 12-20. I thought the Pirates would have. I thought this division would have been a little bit tighter together, especially at the beginning of the season, because I just thought everybody was kind of almost on a level playing field, with maybe the Pirates still needing to get a little bit better to catch up with everybody else. But the Cubs are just playing absolutely great. And I'm a Cubs fan because I was expecting the Cubs to be able to get runs like they are, because they went out and they spent some good money, getting Tucker and getting some other guys so that way they could have long ball, that way they could be putting runs in. And they're leading the National League and leading Major League Baseball in runs scored at 192. Now, I was worried about their pitching, and especially the back end on the bullpen I was severely worried about. But they're still holding together. I'm still waiting for that fall apart on it because, well, I guess I'm just being a pessimist and not an optimist today, so we'll just go that way with it. Any thoughts for you, Paul?
I thought that the Cubs coming in, I thought they were going to be stronger with Tucker. And, like last year, at the beginning of the year, I believe he was struggling a little bit when he was with the Astros. But this year, him starting out so hot, I thought he's just, been a wrecking force right there at the plate for them. And two, I was thinking that the bullpen would kind of be a little shaky. I wasn't sure what they would do, but I mean, for me, that's the biggest surprise over there. I thought Pittsburgh would do a little bit better because of their pitching. I thought they were, with Skeens there and bringing in some people, but their bats just not, really showing up most of the time. But to me, I think the Cubs leading the league there in runs, I think that to me is probably the biggest shock for me on that side.
Yeah, Pirates tied for second worst in Major League Baseball for runs scored at 109.
Yeah,
so
anemic.
just not getting the guys across the dish. In the West, the mighty West minus the Rockies. Los Angeles Dodgers 21-10. San Diego Padres 19-11, San Francisco Giants 19-13, Arizona Diamondbacks 17-14, and the Rockies 6-25.
But on a 2-game winning streak.
2-game winning streak, and if you look at it, the beginning of this week, win projection total 24 games. They're up to 30 now.
That's pretty
They're
good.
up to 30. That's moving on up. That is moving on up. That still might be able to get a record of most losses in a season, which belongs to the Cleveland Spiders from way back when. And I do believe that was like a 1908 type style team. So that's some record-breaking material right there. We thought the White Sox were going to do it last year, but they didn't. I think they finished about 5 or 6 games above that 120-ish mark. That was the worst ever. So, hey, Rockies, keep doing your thing, I guess. If you want to be in the record books, that's the only way I think you're going to get into the record books this season, guys.
That division is so tough, too, if you think about it, if you look at it, because even the Diamondbacks, I mean, they're tough. I mean, when they get to hit, when they get to playing good and everything's working well for them, they're one of the best teams in baseball. And obviously the Dodgers, being over there on that side, that's not really surprising to me because of their lineup. I just think that they're just a well-oiled machine. They're ready to keep going. I mean, the Dodgers, to me, have to be the favorite for the World Series again.
The Dodgers did what I've been saying every team needs to do nowadays. You have to have 8 MLB caliber starting pitchers. Now you can only have, or you can have all 8 of them on your 26-man roster. You're not going to do that.
Right.
But you've got to have at least 3 guys somewhere in the minors that are ready to go major league level, not, let's see what we got, guys. I mean, you can have a few of those guys and bring them up because you do eventually need to see what you have. But just because of, injuries in today's age in baseball, especially with pitchers going out, you've got to have those extra arms because you will be using them. What did the Dodgers do this year? They went out and signed basically anything that was an arm that was worthwhile to have and threw them either on the major league roster or put them on the minor league roster. And how many of those arms are they using right now? At least 2 of those backup arms because you got Snell and Glass now down.
Yep.
And you got Kershaw down. So, no, you're actually using all 3 of those arms that I said that you have to have.
Yeah.
And that's one of the reasons that the Dodgers are still going. Now, the Dodgers are giving up more runs than the Padres and the Giants, but the Dodgers are also scoring.
They're scoring
way more runs than everybody except the Cubs, and I do believe the Yankees are the only 2 teams that have outscored the Dodgers this year in terms of runs scored. Let's move on into the American League so we can end our monthly update. New York Yankees in the East, 18-13. Boston Red Sox, 17-16. Toronto Blue Jays, 15-16. Tampa Bay Rays, 14-17. Baltimore Orioles, 12-18. Paul, thoughts?
The Yankees, obviously. The Yankees. I mean,
Yankees.
If you look at what Aaron Judge is doing right now, and I get it, I know he choked in the playoffs last year. I understand he was nowhere to be found in the World Series, but if you look at it, I actually have it here. In the last 162 games, he's batting .366 with a .492 OBP, .773 slugging percentage, 64 home runs, 162 RBIs, 142 runs, 133 walks, 210 hits, 37 doubles, and he even has 12 stolen bases in those games. So if you think about it, I don't know if we've ever seen anybody in the last 100 years, maybe, that have looked like this in 162 games. I mean, he's averaging an RBI every game in 162 games. I mean, that's just so the Yankees are being the Yankees. I mean, they're obviously, ready to reload as well and come back and see what they can do with the Dodgers.
Geez, no wonder you're a Yankees fan. Holy cow.
Well, I just saw it and I was just like, man, Aaron Judge is
impressive.
It's
you're
just
right.
impressive.
I was thinking back in the days of back in the 60s, early 70s, maybe the Reds had a lot of great stats. And I was a Reds fan. I used to stand on the guardrail of I-75 and look over the edge of Crosley Field, downtown Cincinnati. But those stats are comparable to those days of baseball.
Yeah,
Incredible.
you just don't
I didn't
see
know
it
they were
anymore.
that good. I didn't know.
Yeah, he's tearing the cover off the ball. He's seeing the ball so well. And, I mean, it does help that he's, 6'6", 6'7", 250 pounds. That kind of helps.
Yeah, it makes a bigger strike zone, but it's not making a difference to him. Yeah, Judge 427 average on the season. A month in, 427, that's crazy. On base plus slug, 1.282. Wow.
Unreal.
That means, but his average is 427, so that's a long way to go right there. His on base is 521. So, he's taken some on bases. He's been plunked a few times. He's taken a couple walks, but he's not taking super high amounts of them. He is taking super high amounts of them because of who he is, and he is still getting walked because, they don't have Stanton in the lineup and you don't have Soto anymore. So they don't have to be as not aggressive with Judge. They can get a little more aggressive with him, but they're still walking him, and that just kind of blows my mind on other teams.
Yeah.
It's like, why not attack him? But, hey, he is looking great. I got nothing bad to say about the man right now. Just don't play him in center.
No, keep him where he's at. Keep him
out of center.
Keep him out of center. But the thing is like, it seems like, used to that low and away pitch used to get him all the time. And, they made such a big deal about it. I don't think he's getting that called strike on that low outside pitch anymore as much as he was. So I don't know. Obviously, he's probably starting to hit that pitch a little bit better. But let me give you one thing that I think is impressive, too, that we haven't heard. He doesn't use a torpedo bat, so it's not the bat.
No. And that's the thing, too, is like after the first 5 days of the season, what have we really heard about the torpedo bats anymore? Not a whole lot, they're cool. They kind of work. Something like about 24 guys are using them right now. And the last time I looked up their stats, if you put them together, they're hanging out at about the major league average for home runs and hits and average. So is it changing things? Sure, maybe.
Yeah.
And it's only really changing things for the guys that can barrel up the ball.
Right.
But if you look at the torpedo bat, it does move that sweet spot back towards your hands a few inches, like maybe an inch. So if you're used to already hitting it off the end of the bat, why change? Judge is not changing. Ohtani has come out and said, I'm not going to do it. But, they're already barreling that ball up. So why change?
It's still a matter of preference.
Yes, absolutely.
To what as it was then, it is now,
Yeah, and I got no issue with it.
The way you swing and how you like to grip your bat. So it's just a matter of preference. They offered something different, something to make the headlines, something for you to try, something for you to get in the other team's head, maybe even. Yeah. Wait a minute.
They're trying that.
He's using that bat. He's using that bat. Maybe I ought to pitch slower, pitch faster, or, something like that. I think it was more of a get in their heads kind of thing.
Yeah, if you look, there's guys that use axe handle bats. There's guys that use double knob end bats. There's guys that use no knobs at the end of their bats. There's lots of things you can do with the bat and still keep it in specs of Major League Baseball. So this is just another change that is just a slight change. Yeah. It's either going to be adapted into the game and it's going to stay around for a little bit, or people are going to be like, hey, it's a gimmick and this will be gone in a year or two. Because there were even guys last year, Cody Bellinger for the Cubs last year, used a torpedo bat through the whole season. Nobody talked about it.
Nobody talked about it.
Nobody cared. But once the Yankees hit those 4 home runs in a row, oh, man, we got to talk about it.
Just a way to get a little media coverage. Hey, let's let them grow their hair long. let's let them, next year we'll let them grow mustaches. Next year we'll bring out a cork-filled bat. It's just something to keep it in front of the public eye, to keep it in the press, and it works.
Yeah, it works.
We're talking about it right now, aren't we?
Still talking about it, so yeah, it works.
We are. All right, moving into the American League Central, Detroit Tigers 20-12 on the season, Cleveland Guardians 18-13, Kansas City Royals 17-15, Minnesota Twins 13-19, and the good old White Sox at 8-23. We'll just go ahead and roll on into the West right before our break. Seattle Mariners 18-12. Houston Astros coming on back, now getting up to the 16-14 level. The Athletics, I just love how it says Athletics, no team, no town. Yeah, great. 17-15. Texas Rangers 16-16. Los Angeles Angels 12-18. And a little bit of Angels news. Mike Trout taken out of the game yesterday.
Yeah.
Mike Trout now on the injured reserve list. Bruised knee.
Is that what it was?
Yep.
Did you see he was going. He was running. I think he hit the ball to third or short or something like that, and he really tried to get there, and you could tell something wasn't good.
Yeah, you could tell it wasn't comfy.
Yeah.
And I don't think he was hurt directly on that play.
Yeah.
I think it was something where he just did something to it earlier, and that's just when it hit to the point of, no, I'm done, boss. I'm done. Take me out. I got to sit down for a minute.
They need to call U-Haul, I think. That would be what I would do, is call U-Haul and get some bubble wrap and just wrap him all the time before and after the games. You know how they wrap the arms of the pitchers?
Just wrap him
in bubble wrap and say, we'll shower you after your shower, unless he has a Freddie Freeman accident. But
get an armored truck, throw him in the back of it.
Yeah, padded room, bubble wrap, keep him in there.
Good old Mike Trout. I feel so bad for the guy. Always hurt, and he's so much fun to watch. He seems to be a great guy, and he just seems to love playing baseball.
Yeah.
All those things that I love in my baseball players. All right, Schmitty, send us to a break, my man.
The ESPN Northwest Florida Big Bracket Challenge.
Hi, this is Dave Neat from Panama City Beach, and I just won $250 from 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida playing the Big Bracket Challenge. Thank you so much to Pepsi, Panama City, Toyota, ECB Hobby for making this happen. It was a lot of fun playing against other listeners and staff. Can't wait for next year. And go Ducks!
It's ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Panama City Beach, get ready for something sweet. Milkshake Factory's grand opening, Saturday, May 10th from noon to 4. Milkshake Factory on Back Beach at Breakfast Point Marketplace near Publix, next to First Watch. Celebrate with buy one, get one free milkshakes, including our mouth-watering chocolate-dipped strawberry shake. The first 100 guests score a free Milkshake Factory t-shirt. Plus, sign up for a chance to win free milkshakes for a year. Handcrafted milkshakes, gourmet chocolate bar, family-friendly fun. It's all happening at Milkshake Factory on Back Beach. Locally owned.
Experience a higher level of service. David Adamson Designer Jewelry has been providing you the very best of fine jewelry and repair in Lynn Haven for over 32 years. David has added Amber Anderson and Russ Klinger, names you've known and trusted in PCB for years with your fine jewelry and watch needs. Find that one-of-a-kind engagement ring, that special anniversary gift, or something colorful just for you. Amber and Russ will find it or build it for you, serving Bay County and beyond in Lynn Haven at the corner of Ohio Avenue and 9th. David Adamson Designer Jewelry.
Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing is a combination that's hard to beat. With years and years of experience in vehicle repair, foreign and domestic, name brand tires, and fair prices have established Hewitt Tire and Auto as a leader that folks can call on again and again. And if you need a tow, call Hometown Towing at 850-265-1562. Hewitt Tire and Auto and Hometown Towing, an unbeatable combination. Airport Road, Panama City.
Broadcasting from the Golf Plus studios, it's the Inside Drive. Live from the 19th hole.
I can't believe you're a professional golfer. I think you should be working at the snack bar.
It's the Inside Drive.
The price is wrong.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Inside Drive. coming to you live from the Golf Plus Studios. That's where you guys are hanging out right now. ESPN Northwest Florida. You're hearing us on 104.3 Panama City and 101.9 in Port St. Joe. You can call the show. You can text the show 850-215-6290, and you can also listen to us on the ESPN Northwest Florida app. Go to the Google Store, go to the Apple Store, whichever phone you got, and download the app. After you get the app downloaded, open it up and hit the enter contest button, because right now we are running a t-shirt contest through the app. You can win an awesome t-shirt through Buffalo Rock or ESPN Northwest Florida. You can also follow us on the old World Wide Web at ESPNPC.com.
Is that a wet t-shirt contest?
Which one?
Wet t-shirt contest?
Sure, if you want, Smitty, we'll get you out here. We got cameras in here, Smitty. Come on, walk on in, man.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Not going to happen.
No. You sure?
Sure.
Yeah, opportunity still stands?
Okay, I'll do it.
All right, we'll do it. We'll do it.
I'll do it for charity.
End of the show.
We'll do that. All right, everybody. We will run a charity drive right now. 850-215-6290. If we can raise $100 for Pop's Pig and Pick'em right now,
there we
will
go.
get Schmitty in here for a wet t-shirt contest.
With the water
Put it
bottles.
on Facebook, YouTube, and
The Twitch.
Twitter, and then all the rest of them. And you can put it in your basement, scare the bugs away.
There we go. Love it. Some breaking news right now, seeing on the ESPN.com website. Popovich stepping down as the Spurs head coach. He will be staying with the Spurs organization in a front office role. Interim coach from, the end of last season when Pop went on and stepped on down for a minute. Mitch Johnson will be taking over coaching duties full time.
Yeah, that seemed like it was going that way. So that's a good thing for the Spurs, especially if they were to land Giannis.
Yeah, if they can land. Oh, could you imagine Giannis playing with Wemby?
Yes.
Like, that could be fun.
That would be fun. It'd definitely be fun to watch. They would be fast too, because.
And if you can get Flag out of that.
Oh yeah. That would be nice.
Oh, that would be a fun basketball team. And I like the Spurs seem to have like a succession plan ready to go.
Yeah.
Like, okay, we know Pop can't coach forever. Pop has been probably one of the absolute greatest coaches in NBA history, just flat out. He has got to be up there. He is going to be a Hall of Famer. If he is not a Hall of Famer on the first ballot, the writers just need to have, their ink pens taken away from them at that point. So
Chat GPT on that. We got to have them voting.
Yes. So, congratulations to Pop, though, on an excellent head coaching career. Wishing him the best of luck as he moves on into his front office role, and hoping for the best health for him, because I'm pretty sure these have all been health-related issues. We've not been really told exactly what, but hopefully, stepping back from a high-stress job like that into a still stress job, but a little bit less of a stress job. Hopefully he can, feel better and live out a great and awesome rest of his life, because man deserves it.
Yeah, he does. Did you see that picture the other day? I believe it was yesterday. The Spurs player got the award, and Tim Duncan and David Robinson were there to do it, and then Wemby came in as well. Tim Duncan, he's 6'11".
Yeah, big.
And then David Robinson's 7 foot, if not 7'1". Wemby made them all look like they were 6 foot.
Oh, dude's a giant.
He was about 8 inches taller than everybody in the room. It was just unbelievable.
And he's so rail thin, so it gives that illusion of he's even taller than he really is, because he just doesn't have that man size to him yet.
Yeah.
And Wemby's never going to be like Shaq man size. He's not got that kind of frame. But I think once that Wembanyama starts to get a couple more pounds on him, starts to get that man muscle that you get, kind of in your early to mid-20s, he's going to be a lot harder to push around. Because right now I am kind of seeing that in a couple of Spurs games that I did watch, is when he gets to that inside area, he's taller than everybody, but he's still getting pushed back and pushed out, just because he doesn't have that size where he can just totally anchor himself and be like, no, this is my spot. You're not pushing me back.
Right. Yeah, he's that way. And then you got also Chet Holmgren. He's the same way for Oklahoma City. He's that way. They're both just really tall and they're agile, but they're really thin, and they get pushed around a little bit in the paint with the bigger guys. But I mean, once what did you call it? You said that 20-year-old grown man. What did you call it?
Man muscle.
Man muscle. I don't think I ever hit that. I think I'm still looking for my man muscle.
Yeah, mine left in my 30s because, well, I just stopped using it. That's my fault. Sorry, body. I apologize to you.
There you go.
My
but
bad.
yeah, I think Wemby, if he can get some man muscle, I think he'll be definitely
he'll be
unstoppable.
That kind of a center. Ooh, yeah, I'll take that all day because he's got a better shot than Shaq and he's got better speed than Shaq.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But he doesn't have that under the rim tenacity that Shaq had. So,
dominant.
But again, just one different era, two different people.
Yeah, different game too.
All right, we'll get back into a little bit of baseball news. So we got news that Mike Trout moving to the IL. Some other guys moving over to the IL. The Yankees have placed Jazz Chisholm on the 10-day IL. I do believe he had some shoulder discomfort there. Stanton for the Yankees been moved to the 60-day IL now. He has not made an appearance for the Yankees this season. He has been on the injured list for the entire season. It's just basically a paper shuffle formality for the Yankees right now to move him from the 15 to the 60. So nothing really there other than it's just he's on the longer one now instead of the shorter one. And it doesn't really make a difference because you can have somebody on the 15-day IL and leave them there for 162 days if you want.
Yeah. I don't think he comes back until around the All-Star break, probably. I would be surprised if he come back before then. But, he
did take some batting practice earlier in the week, I read. So.
Yeah.
So it's you got to put your elbows in it to swing.
Yeah.
And he's having elbow problems, I think like a tennis elbow tendonitis type thing. So it's you use the elbow to throw the ball and you also use the elbows to swing the bat. So until that starts feeling comfy, it's probably pretty uncomfortable to do your day job.
Yeah, and I think they're not going to rush him back anyway because,
they don't need to.
They don't have any problems with their offense right now at all. So.
No. And the Yankees also yesterday picked up Brian De La Cruz off of the waiver wires from the Atlanta Braves. De La Cruz, 16 games for the Braves, had a 191. When he got to New York City, he was optioned back to the AAA team for the Yankees in Scranton Wilkes-Barre. So that is the updates for the injured reserved list. We got a lot of guys in baseball right now.
Yeah, there's
a lot of big name stars. I mean, I just went through real quick, just wrote down some names of guys that are on the injured reserve list right now, Major League Baseball. Stanton, Trout, Ketel Marte, Ronald Acuna, Strider, Steele, Chris Bryant, Clayton Kershaw, Glasnow, Snell, Chisholm, LeMahieu, Darvish, Jackson Merrill, Shane McClanahan. I mean, it's almost like every single team has one of their bigger names right now on the IL. Is this just like a beginning of the season? Because usually at the beginning of the season, you'll see a couple more IL stints, mostly because I think, guys either not being ready for the season yet, so they just put them there, or you're still getting over surgery, something like that you had in the off season. But it just seems a little high to me right now out of what I kind of remember. But I also think this has to do with, too, now that they have the 10-day IL, which they used to not have. So I think that's another reason that we're seeing more guys go to the IL because we have a shorter stint now that you can see guys on, especially for pitchers. I think you'll see them more because in a 10-day, you can almost only miss one start.
Yeah.
You basically can miss one start and then kind of fudge, putting in a couple guys in front of you to get you in at day number 11.
Yeah.
So you basically only really miss one start. So I think that's another reason why you see lots of pitchers going to it now is it's just an easier way to, instead of saying, we're going to send you back down, it's like, we'll just put them on the IL for 10 days and bring somebody up.
Yeah, and that way they can just stay home and get their treatment and really get, working with their doctors, just making sure that they're okay. Because sometimes it's just a little bit of uncomfort in maybe an abdomen or shoulder.
Or a blister on your finger.
Just something
you can't
small.
pitch like that, so.
Yeah, so I mean, when you're playing at that high of level, you have to be 100% and be ready for the most part. So I think that's kind of what the MLB was doing with that 10-day IL. And I think it's good for some of the players. I think that they're able to, like I said, stay home with their doctors and really get their treatment that they need.
Yeah, I like the move. I like the
Yeah.
move there. It was better for the players. So
Yeah, and I think so because everybody wants to see, those names. I mean, Merrill and Stanton and Acuna. I mean, everybody, you go to those team games and you go to their stadiums and their merchandise, everybody's wearing that player. So they're there to see them. So I think
they sell tickets.
Yeah, they sell the tickets. So I think Major League Baseball is doing good by putting the 10-day so they can get there. I can't wait to see Acuna back. I love the way he plays anyway. So hopefully everything's still going good with him, and I hope to see him back soon.
It'll be good for the Braves. Excellent for the Braves because they need a little bit of outfield help right now. They've got plenty of outfielders, but I just think they need him even just as a motivator in there.
Yeah.
I think the guys like him. I think he's popular in the locker room. So him coming back, even if he doesn't hit the field too hard, just the morale boost for the team, the morale boost for the fans, just the organization in general, it will be a big, big help to that thing.
I agree.
And the fan, we've talked about this slightly, but there was a fan that fell from Clemente's wall in right field in Pittsburgh a couple of nights ago, hit the ground, didn't move. Fan is still in critical condition in a Pittsburgh hospital area. So thoughts, prayers, good vibes, whatever it is you do, send it out to that man and his family because that was a scary, 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 frightening moment.
Yeah, that was crazy. Did you see it? Did you see the video? Have you seen it?
How far of a fall?
It's a 21-foot
21 foot.
21 foot.
Yep, 21-foot fall.
Yeah, it was tough. The game was going on, and then all of a sudden, out of the peripheral, you could just see him fall, and it was just horrible.
You mean on television?
Yeah,
yes.
It was you could just kind of see it in the background.
You could see it in the
delay
background.
or anything like that. They were just shooting it live, and then off into the distance, you see a guy go off.
Yeah, because the ball was flying into like left center.
Okay.
And he was kind of at the right center portion of it, so you could just kind of watching it coming out of the screen following the ball.
Yeah, it was just really tough, yeah. And, I mean, you could tell by the way he fell that it wasn't good, and then the way the EMS and first responders were there, and they were trying to get him on the gurney quick.
Yeah, EMS out there, both training staffs for both baseball teams out there. I mean, everybody that was supposed to do the appropriate things to take care of an incident like that did an excellent job. I commend them for what they did.
I didn't see it.
What they needed to do.
I hadn't even heard much about that, but that's pretty tragic.
Yeah, some people online were saying, "Oh, he looked like he jumped," but after looking at it a couple more times, it looked like he was like kind of standing up to look, and when he did, his momentum just kind of took him over the top. I don't know.
Either that or that one beer too many. You stand up real quick.
And you just lose that balance.
Even if you're not intoxicated, you stand up too quick, you get a little lightheaded.
Yeah.
You got the sun hitting you in the face or not, and it could cause you to lose your balance. And I would say that it was not intentional.
No, I don't think so.
No.
But I mean,
it doesn't sound like it.
This is, let's look at the last 5 years in baseball. This is the third one of these kinds of incidents to happen. One of them happened, I'm going to say, about 4 years ago at Truist Park.
Truist Park, yep.
A guy with his kid reached over, he was on the second mezzanine level out in left field, tried to reach over for the foul ball. I remember that. And then there was another one on one of the East Coast teams. Again, second level mezzanine, trying to reach over for a foul ball.
Yeah.
And so I don't know what baseball, they need to do something.
I don't know.
I mean, you can because some of these parks have guardrails that are a little taller than others, and I understand why you don't want to make too tall of a guardrails because you don't want to have, interference with fan sight, or fans aren't going to want those chairs.
Right.
And usually front row chairs like that, team gets more money for.
Yeah.
So they need to find something there. I don't know what it is.
If they had some kind of net, maybe, I don't know. I mean, just something maybe. I mean, they did really good. Went to the Truist Park last year, and the way they got the nets up for the foul balls and the bats. If they sling the bats or whatever, you feel safe right there. So I mean, they're doing good. I think sometimes accidents just happen.
They do. All right, it is time for another break. We are at the top of the hour. This is the Inside Drive coming to you from the Golf Plus studios. And when we get back, it is time for our afternoon delights.
PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida. Here is your weather forecast on this Friday morning. As we head into this afternoon and evening, some sun and a high of 80 with a moderate breeze around 13 miles per hour out of the south. For tonight, partly cloudy skies and a low near 72. Tomorrow, partly cloudy in the morning, but otherwise a chance of thunderstorms and a high around 79. This weather forecast is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport. The best place in town to take a leak.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios.
Skyrockets in flight.
And now, the afternoon delight debrief with the three degenerates from the Inside Drive.
Afternoon delight.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good afternoon. No longer good morning.
No more.
No more. It's past noon.
Another one gone.
That means it is good afternoon, Northwest Florida. This is the Inside Drive coming to you live from the Gulf Plus studios in beautiful Panama City Beach. And you can hear us on the radio, 104.3 Panama City, 101.9 Port St. Joe. We also got our call and text lines open right now, 850-215-6290. Give us a call, give us a text. Let us know what you're thinking right now.
Have we got any money raised yet?
Smitty, we got any calls for you to...
Just a few threatening phone calls.
Okay. So
if he does it, he'll be shot and things like that. But
gotcha.
I ignore those anyway.
We got the water bottles ready, so y'all keep coming with the line.
Yeah, we all want to see this big old fat belly hanging out there.
We do.
We do, actually.
We know what makes good radio.
Oh, yeah.
That's right.
That's what they said. I got a face and body for radio.
That's why I'm in radio. I got a perfect face for radio. Got a great voice to work in the newspaper. All right, so what do we got? Oh, the afternoon delight. Well, I got a couple of afternoon delights. Let's see, what am I going to start with? Let's see. Alvord, Texas. Crews worked for hours on Tuesday to clean up a truckload of dimes that spilled onto U.S. Highway 287 in Wise County. The Alvord Fire Department confirmed the dimes spilled from an 18-wheeler that overturned on Highway 287 near Alvord High School at around 5:30 a.m. on Tuesday. The Texas Department of Public Safety said that the driver veered off the roadway, overcorrected, and then rolled onto his side. Roughly $800,000 or 8 million dimes were scattered on the roadway. The highway was shut down until about 7 p.m. so that crews could recover all of the loose change. The driver and passenger were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
$800,000 $8,000
worth of dimes.
Worth of dimes. My question is, where are they going? Who?
They take them to places and then they bag them up, and then they send them. They keep them in stock and ready. And those trucks are supposed to be armored. So even the tractor trailers are supposed to be armored so that if something like that happens, they don't bust apart. But obviously somebody was trying to save a dime, put it in a regular kind of transport, and it didn't work. And it doesn't say anything about the armed guards that always ride when they transport coinage or currency like that, when there's always an armed guard, but it doesn't say anything about where those guys were when the incident happened. So usually they don't put them in tractor-trailer type rigs like that. They run them in the smaller tandem axle iron cars. But something about that just wasn't right.
Do you think they got every one of them? 8 million dimes on the ground?
How could you? I mean, there's no way you could take a magnet because they're not, coinage is not magnetic, so there's no way to pick it up like that. Some of those brushes would just fling them hither and fro everywhere, and plus, people were parking on the opposite.
Money!
Money.
You're not kidding. Wow, 800,000.
And they were probably all proof to brilliantly uncirculated coins, which means they were worth money more. Right there. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's it's a lot of change. That's got to be heavy too. That seems like it would be heavier than what most tractor trailers that I'm thinking of, 18-wheelers would be carrying, because just pick up a handful of dimes, and how heavy is that?
Yeah, that's crazy just to know. So they were dropping dimes.
They was dropping
Texas
dimes on the roadway.
That is probably why they didn't use the proper armor vehicles to do it with, because they couldn't get on state highways and stuff like that if those vehicles weren't safe. So
yeah,
wow. heavy. All right, another one. Let's move on to Newark, New Jersey. A Pennsylvania man who is going through security at a New Jersey airport was found to have a live turtle concealed in his pants, according to the Federal Transportation Secretary Administration. The turtle was detected Friday after a body scanner alarm went off at a Newark Liberty International Airport. A TSA officer conducted a pat-down on the East Starsburg man and determined that there was something concealed in the groin area of his pants. When questioned further, the man reached into his pants and pulled out the turtle, which was about 5 inches long and wrapped in a small blue towel. He said that it was a red-eared slider turtle, a species that is popular as a pet. The man, whose name was not released, was escorted from the checkpoint area by Port Authority police and ended up missing his flight. The turtle was confiscated. It is not clear if the turtle was part of the man's pets or why he had it in his pants.
Let's hope it was a pet and not a girlfriend.
I'm looking at the turtle. It looks real cute.
When you said reached into his pants and pulled out a 5-inch turtle, that was... no, thank you.
Yeah, I'm a turtle person. I have turtles and tortoises as part of my menagerie of pets that I have out on my farm. So, I can't imagine trying to stuff a turtle in my pants and try to get on an airplane.
Even the most domestic one have claws.
Oh yeah,
they have the claws on the ends of their little padded feet.
And the redfoots are a distant cousin to the box turtles that we see around here.
And they're mean.
Yeah, so they can. If I can imagine if it was getting tired of being in your pants and it was in the.
Did they think the guy was just well hung, or did they, what caused him to look in that area?
Well, okay, so when you go through TSA in an airport now, you go through the tube and you have to stand there with your hands up, your legs apart. So that's where I'm assuming that they saw it on that scan, and it was just this thing sitting there. So they were like, let's just...
That's not a cup.
Let's just see what that is.
That's not a cup. I mean, maybe that's what he was trying to get away with. Oh, it's an athletic support.
This is my athletic support turtle.
Yeah.
We could have got away with that.
Yes.
An emotional support thing. They take them on airplanes all the time.
Exactly.
He wouldn't have to buy a seat for it.
Wouldn't have to buy a seat. He could have gotten a cute little vest for it even.
Yeah. Little orange vest.
Little orange vest that
Little
says
orange
don't
vest.
pet.
Don't touch. Don't pet.
Don't touch, don't pet.
Touch my turtle.
You know, working turtle.
Man, you guys are
Smitty is on it today.
No, you guys are sick. You guys are. We don't talk about this sort of thing early in the morning.
I know. That's why the afternoon's so much better.
I know.
That's why the afternoons are so much better. All right, one more for you guys out there.
I don't know if I can handle another one. Be gentle.
When authorities burned 20 tons of confiscated cannabis in the eastern Turkish town of Lice on April 18th, as a resulting the smoke... Hold on, that was horribly written. Let's try that again. April 18th, as the resulting smoke cloud effectively gave the entire population of 25,000 people a really great high, causing widespread health issues and the outrage of the citizens. The massive drug disposal operation conducted on April 18th by the Lice District Gemanders Commanders sent thick smoke billowing across the town for days, leaving residents experiencing symptoms of intoxication, including dizziness, nausea, and hallucinations.
Okay, here you go. Yes, Mayor Elby. I want to see the mayor. Yeah, okay, can I calm down? Can I tell him what you're here to see him about?
Hot dogs.
Never mind.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Just as tobacco smoke harms passive smokers in enclosed spaces, the smoke from burning the narcotics can cause serious discomfort, intoxication, dizziness, nausea, and hallucinations, said President of Green Star Association, which has aims to combat addiction, says the local newspaper. 5 days after the operations, residents continue to struggle with the effects. Quote, "We've been unable to open our windows for days because of the drug smell," end quote, said one resident who wished to remain anonymous. Quote, "Our children have gotten sick and we're constantly going back and forth to the hospital. We face this problem every year," end quote.
And we're running out of gummy bears.
The destroyed cannabis, valued at 10 billion Turkish lira, or around 261 million US dollars, was seized during a 226 anti-narcotic operations conducted throughout the 2024 year. Authorities used 200 liters of diesel fuel to burn the drugs, in which critics are calling a unprofessional disposal method. Yeah, I'll agree with that too. Adding insult to injury, officials arranged the drug packages to spell out lice before setting them ablaze, a display that Ogre called unacceptable and lacking professionalism. While the operations conducted by the Georgic-based security forces are commendable and they strike a significant blow to the production and street dealers burning cannabis in the city, is very unprofessional. The City Green Star Association recommends that the authorities dispose of narcotics in factories with filtered chimneys or areas far away from population centers. Ogre's organization has offered to provide educational programs about drug awareness for law enforcement and school. Despite the widespread impact, no formal complaints have been filed with the association, though residents too continue to report health issues to the media and local organizations. The operation that led to the seizure resulted in the illegal proceedings against 1,941 individuals, according to the governor's office.
See, they could have got away with that if they would have used a crematorium. A crematorium wouldn't have produced the narcotic effect or half of the smoke, because that's what, they burn so hot, 2,000 degrees or more, so it instantly goes from plant to ash. No smoke, no smell, no nothing.
Well, I mean, throwing, I'm sure when they said throwing diesel on it, I'm sure they're not throwing like the freshest diesel that they could find on it either. So they were probably having like tar-filled diesel that had been sitting around for like 30 years.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't the pot that was making them sick. It was the diesel fumes that were making them sick.
Oh, yeah, and burning that much? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine. I wonder what the ground looks like now where they burned all that stuff. Because, like after you dump that much diesel there,
gooey.
It's going to be sticky. It's not going to grow anything for years.
Yeah.
and it's going to smell real bad for a long time, too.
Did
just
you say
because
they
of all
spelled
that.
out the name of the city?
They spelled out the name of the city and everything, so it'll be like burned into the ground for at least another couple of years. So when you're flying over, you can look down and go, hey, that's where they burned up all the pot with the diesel fuel.
I'm sure the restaurants and the grocery stores where all the people having the munchies probably profited.
That's why that's the real reason why people didn't open up their windows. They're like, they didn't want the smell and the smoke out of their houses.
They just kept it in.
They were just hotboxing.
Yeah. Let's go back in the closet, hon. Okay.
Hey guys, open the door, man. I need to get a smell.
Dave's not here.
Who?
Dave.
Who's Dave?
Dave, open the door, man.
Who's Dave?
Dave's not here.
Dave's not here, man. Yes, the great bamboo. We all love it.
Hey, you know those guys are going on tour again?
I'm surprised they're both still alive.
I know.
That's the surprising part.
And able to get up on stage. And Tommy Chong is in his 80s, 82, 84.
I mean, he's got to be.
Like
he started,
he's 82 or 84. He was much older than Cheech Marion when he started.
Cheech made a lot of money, though, in all the TV shows that he was in. I mean, it was like every time he turned around, he was a sergeant in somebody's police department that always had a good talking part. So,
and he was in I don't know, something one of George Clooney's first movie, that one about vampires. Can't remember the name of it, but that was a good movie. He just did a cameo. But that's what he did, is he went around doing cameos. But they wrote a book or something like that, and they were releasing the book, and then I think they were going to do an album, and they were going to start touring again.
Wow, that's crazy.
Doing some of the old bits too.
I found one more just for me because I'm a big fan of this guy. So here we go. One more, guys. One more. Promise. More than a year after receiving final approvals from local officials, a bronze statue immortalizing the late Motorhead founder and frontman Lemmy Kilmister will finally be erected at the Lemmy Forever Stoke-on-Trent ceremony next Friday. Set to take place at the center of Lemmy's hometown in Burslem, England, the ceremony will be a raucous remembrance of perhaps one of the last great rock and roll stars. The result of a crowdfunding effort that helped cover more than the $63,000 cost, the bronze sculpture in question stands nearly 7.5 feet tall atop of a nearly 10-foot tall pylon made to look like an overhanging stage. On the plinth, there will be a Motorhead logo along with details about Lemmy's fashioned face. The sculpture will be placed at the outside of the town's marketplace. Lemmy.
Rightly so.
Yeah, I miss
great musician, great writer.
Oh, I was a huge Motorhead fan. Yeah. Loved Lemmy. So I was working as a DJ.
Again, other musicians.
Oh, absolutely. He was loved by his hometown too. Yeah. Like when he was in his final days of his cancer diagnosis, and he couldn't go to his local bar that he always went to go play like Pac-Man or Pong or something at the arcade. They literally took the arcade machine out of the bar and took it to his house, and everybody at the bar just went to his house to drink with him one last time.
That's cool.
Yeah. Wow. So I remember, I was working the night, I was an overnight DJ when I got the news that Lemmy had passed. So broke some rules at the radio station of not playing the same band a bunch of times in a row. And I did nothing but play Motorhead for like an hour after that, because I was just cool. Like, no, guys, we're just playing Motorhead.
That's right. He deserves it.
Hats off to you for that one.
Big old Lemmy fan. So nice to see a memorial for Mr. Kilmister. Good old Lemmy. So would love to play some of that right now, but I'm sure Randy would call me and say, what are you guys doing?
Oh, yeah.
So we will...
shut down via remote control.
Yeah, we will play some Lemmy. Maybe we'll play some Lemmy later. We'll just see how the day goes on. Oh, what do we got? Oh, some other news out there that is not sports related, since we're not doing sports related stuff right now, and this makes me quite
as long as it does not involve turtles. No, bring it on.
I don't think it's turtle related.
No more turtles.
I received the awful, no good, bad news that Grand Theft Auto 6 will not be coming out this November, and it has been pushed back to a release in May of 2026. Am I shocked by this? No, I'm not.
Well, why is the pushback? What's pushing? Is it because it's too violent for children?
No, the pushback is coming because they're still doing like testing through some of the game. So it's just they're not done. And I would rather them release the game when it is a complete product. It doesn't have to be a 100% complete product because nowadays with video games being connected to the internet, they can just give you downloads to fix whatever's broken. So that's fine. But I also don't want a Cyberpunk 2077 situation to happen right here. And for the gamers out there that don't know what Cyberpunk is, Cyberpunk was a video game released a couple years ago by CD Projekt Red that was maybe 70% done when they released it.
Okay.
It was one of those games, they delayed it by a year, still wasn't done, and I think from pressure from like executive management there and stockholders, they released the game totally unfinished. Like to the point where like lay gamers, guys that don't play a whole lot, are even looking at it going, this ain't done.
This is lame.
This ain't finished. This looks awful. Like you could still see some skeletal structures in the 3D structure, like especially on the shadows. Like V was a big, thick guy, and then when you look at his shadow, it's just about as thick as this pencil right here, So it was not done. So am I upset by, GTA getting the delay? Absolutely. It's been over 10 years, guys. Come on, you can get out games quicker than that.
Really.
Way quicker than that you can get out games. I mean, it's been since 2017 or 2018 since Red Dead came out. What are you working on? Come on, guys. Get it out there. Get it to me. I need it. Please.
They're probably going to blame it on the tariffs. I mean, you can just blame it on the tariffs.
I mean, they can, but they're doing all the work within the United States, so there's no tariff on it.
No tariff, so GTA, what are you doing?
You already own the computer. You don't have to bring it in. It's already sitting in front of you.
We flew over this city, and there was something burning in the shape of an L and an I, and we forgot what we were doing.
We forgot. What are we doing? Are we talking video games or sports? I don't know. Let's go to a break and we'll figure it out when we come back. This is the Inside Drive coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. And when we get back, we will be talking to Mr. Aaron Bearden from Instant Replay Sports.
ESPN Northwest Florida. We're taking the Inside Drive.
All right, we got caller number 5 on the line. Who do we got out there?
Hey, this is LSU Neil.
Hey, how are you doing? Congratulations.
All right, thank y'all so much. I'm very excited about this.
Yes. Are you a golfer?
Part-time golfer.
I understand
Complete and utter novice.
Middays 11 to 1. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Friday's weather forecast. Partly sunny the remainder of the day with temps near 80 and a wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight and a temperature of 72. About the same tomorrow around 79 with some clouds in the morning and then a possibility of thunderstorms. Partly sunny in the early morning but otherwise a possibility of thunderstorms Sunday and warm around 79. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for keeping that dial on ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. Discover the new Kia. We invite you to stop by Bill Bird Kia and test drive the new 2025 Kia. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. The 2025 Kia SUV family has movement that inspires. Drive away today in a new 2025 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. Fuel the thrill and command the road in the luxury of a 2025 Kia K5 sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Performance, power, and design built for you. Spark inspiration in the all-electric 2025 EV9. It's a modern masterpiece, fast charging, rugged, and roomy. Bill Bird Kia is the original home for the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.PanamaCity.com. We'll treat you like family and give you the peace of mind you can trust. Your local community dealer is Bill Bird Kia.
Now back to the Inside Drive, live and local from the Gulf Plus studios. Spreads, picks, and parlays. Get the breaking news, insider angles, and expertise so you can run your game.
I told y'all to run that.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. ESPN Northwest Florida.
I love karaokeing this song. I can remember all the words. All the words, got them down.
I never thought of that.
It's a great karaoke song. I'm great with it. This is the Inside Drive coming to you live from the Golf Plus studios. If you got any golfing needs, need some clubs, need some balls, you need some hat cleaner for your beautiful white Titleist hat, all of that can be found at Golf Plus at the shops at Edgewater. Also, right there on Montgomery Highway in Dothan, Alabama.
I saw your giveaway
Alan
stuff
a
out
visit.
there. You did. They
were
yesterday.
We did.
Sitting out there.
We got some really cool stuff that they gave away.
Nice stuff.
I think it said $200 package.
Yeah, about that.
Yeah. Nice looking stuff.
Cool stuff. Yeah, that was a fun giveaway yesterday. We took caller number 5, had an absolutely excited caller.
Great number.
It was a good things yesterday.
When he sees his stuff.
Oh, I think so too. If you're a golfer, be sure to be out there visiting Golf Plus. Be careful out there. It is Thunder Beach weekend, so watch out for the bikers. But right now, on the phone line, we have our great friend of the show, Aaron Bearden, Instant Replay Sports Cards. Mr. Bearden, how's the day?
It's fantastic so far. How about you guys?
We are having a fun day here. I just got done ranting about how my GTA 6 has been delayed by 6 months.
Yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah, you got to hate that. That's an awful feeling, especially when you've been waiting for over a decade for the next installment. But hey, if you've already been waiting a decade, what's another 6 months, right?
Yeah, there you go. And follow-up question, what is that?
Grand Theft Auto 6. So it's going to be the next kind of big AAA, shoot 'em up, steal stuff kind of video game.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
I got you.
Yeah,
I got you. Not a video gamer over here, so I got you.
Yeah, I'm a big time gamer. My other hobbies outside of radio and taking care of a farm is gaming. I've been gaming since the 2600 Atari series. So I've been in it for a little bit of a hot minute.
Do you find gaming and farming is a lot of crossover, that Venn diagram?
I mean, there's a couple of good farming simulators out there that I've never played and will never play because I actually have to farm in real life. So why do I want to sit there and play it on a video game? But hey, I mean, I can't really say that because I do play. I play hockey video games, and I do love going out and playing real hockey. So maybe I should try one of the farming sims. I might learn something about myself.
Yeah, you never know. I know a couple of years back, there's one of the soccer players, I think, that learned something about playing the soccer, the FIFA game. Studying himself on the game, there was something he found that his avatar, his character was doing, and he realized, like, wait a second, I'm actually doing that in my real game, and, like, that's why, something about his stats and dropping or something, and he had not realized that. And they got in the game, and he was like, oh, wait, I'm doing that all wrong.
And now even, you see NFL teams now using Madden rating systems to, get some information on players that they're looking at either getting in free agency or even from the NFL draft. That's just crazy to me that somebody that's like a professional GM's like, hey, did you see this on Madden?
They get really mad, too. They get aggravated.
Crazy. Yeah, I hope they double check because I remember a few years back hearing something about one of the Madden things where they put the game out, and there was a mistake in the coding, and like one of the players, instead of being 6 foot tall, he was 6 inches tall.
Yes, I do remember that one.
Yeah, he was running all around the field like a little action figure. So yeah, hopefully teams are double checking that information.
That's actually what the NBA should do. NBA 2K should do that for Ant-Man. Like have a little thing like where you can enter a code at the beginning of the game and Ant-Man becomes Ant-Man.
Anthony Edwards, Ant-Man, 6 inches.
Yeah.
All right, got kind of a sports card question here for you, Aaron. So with Shedeur Sanders just having that free fall over the weekend in the NFL draft and him already having cards out there from his college days, does that just free fall like that have any detriment to the value of his cards that are already available to us?
Well, look, we don't know what he's going to do when he gets to the NFL. He certainly would not be the first guy to be, a late-round pick who ends up with a Hall of Fame career in any pro sport. I'm going to give my answer on this as an outsider because I don't watch college football, but I am vaguely aware of, what goes on with sort of sports news and headlines and all. I sort of feel like this is a product of the sports media for the last 3 years or something like that, making a huge deal out of Deion and, his son and the whole coaching thing, and realizing that there was a lot of hype to that, and there were a lot of talk shows devoting a lot of airtime to that, and the NFL is not drafting hype. They're looking at, can these guys play? Are they good for the team? Are they our future? And, maybe once you got past all that, maybe the NFL teams just didn't feel like he was the real deal. They certainly could be proved wrong as well.
Oh, absolutely.
But, I think that was a lot of it. I think we heard his name so much, and there's so much hype. It's like, well, he must be good. We keep hearing about him. And I think a lot of the NFL, the front offices and the scouts were just going, no, we're looking at, maybe how his game plays to how we think it'll translate to pro football, and maybe it's not there. So that said, about his cards, maybe it'll have a little bit of an effect. What's really going to matter is when the season starts, is he on the field and is he playing well? And if so, people are going to forget that, it's going to be like a footnote thing, like a Jeopardy question. What round was he drafted in? Because at that point, it's not going to matter as long as he's producing.
So with the NFL draft coming around, or actually it already came around and left, do you see higher traffic to the store? Or do you see more sales of, say, football cards? Because it's been out of our mind for a minute because, Super Bowl back in February. We got a little bit of time off. Do you see an uptick in football sales because of the draft?
Yes. Yeah. In football, it's seasonal. Most sports are. Baseball is kind of the only one that's sort of perennial. But, we do. I've noticed in the past 2 weeks or something like that now, like our online sales of these collegiate guys cards really going up. Now that people know what teams they're going to, and you've got one of two things. Somebody who's a fan of this guy in college that now knows, hey, he's going to be a pro player, and I liked him in college. I want to get his stuff before he starts the NFL, or people who are fans of that team going, okay, who's my team's new guy? I want to go ahead and start getting his stuff. So there was that limbo period where they were making college cards for the past couple of months, and nobody really knew where these guys were going to wind up. So yes, it is a big uptick right now in these guys' cards, and that should continue all the way through. First part of the season, we'll see some of these guys stumble out of the gate, and things will happen. But yeah, right now it's a big boom.
So let me ask you a question real quick, Aaron. I was looking, and the top 3 jersey sales from the draft are Travis Hunter, Cam Ward, and then surprisingly, Shedeur Sanders was the 3rd most popular selling jersey. Do you see any correlation with that and the card market as far as when they have things like that come up and come across the line? Do you see people buying more towards that way or no?
Right. Well, I think, again, Sanders is sort of an outlier there because there was all that media attention around him for a while now, and because of the family name. So I don't think that necessarily translates into the card sales. I can see how it translates into jersey sales big time. But the other two, certainly. I think there's a lot of expectation for Cam Ward and Travis Hunter. So, yeah, I can see one of their top jersey sales, and also their cards are selling really well right now.
Yeah, shockingly, Jackson Dart's jersey was a higher seller than Abdul Carter, who actually was the Giants' first-round pick before. I mean, I get it, the quarterback.
Quarterback, yeah.
I mean, but...
Oh, yeah, quarterback's going to take that.
So he was in the top 6 there. He was number 6 actually. So I just wanted to know that. I wondered if the jersey sales correlated any with the card sales.
Well, yeah, I mean, in general, because the jersey sales are usually going to be your most popular athletes, and usually guys are popular because they're producing on the field, and producing on the field is also what's going to drive the card sales.
Yeah.
So it's going to be the same if we look at Major League Baseball and you go, well, your top jersey sellers are like Ohtani and Aaron Judge and Soto and Acuna. You know, those kind of guys. It's going to be the guys we know, and we know them because they're successful.
Yeah.
So earlier this week, I thought I saw that Panini has signed Shedeur Sanders for the last year of Panini to be exclusively signing autographs with them. Did I catch that right?
Let me see, because I have been out of town all week, so that could be, yeah. I mean, it looks that way. It actually looks like it happened maybe about a month ago, I guess. You know what's weird? The word exclusive, when we're talking about autographs and trading cards, it's kind of an elastic word. It can be stretched and shaped however they want. So there are guys who are quote-unquote exclusive with one company, and then you see them come out with autographs and stuff in another company. You're like, wait, and then there are certain guys who really are legitimately exclusive. Michael Jordan is probably the biggest example. He's only with Upper Deck. He's only pictured on Upper Deck cards. I don't think you can have his shadow showing in a picture on anybody else's card. So, yeah. I don't doubt Panini would run out and do an autograph signing. They're certainly, trying to, at the moment, grab anything they can. They're kind of facing Fanatics. Regardless of, how you feel about either company, there is a kind of a David and Goliath kind of thing at work right now with Fanatics acquiring a lot of the hobby and a lot of these athletes going exclusive with them, like LeBron just did about a year ago. So, yeah, I mean, right now it's kind of a bitter back and forth. So sort of what happened in the mid-1950s with Topps and Bowman, where they were both scrambling to lock these people down into exclusive contracts, and even back then it didn't work. Guys would sign an exclusive contract with one company and the next week go sign an exclusive contract with the other company at the same time.
I will only exclusively sign the cards that you put in front of me at that moment.
Exclusively.
Yeah. It's like I say, with some athletes, it really does mean that. Mike Trout is exclusively a signer for Topps cards. He won't sign for anyone else, but he will appear on all the other cards, even the ones that have to go to him personally, sort of like through the Players Association, and get his okay for his likeness. But his autograph is exclusive. Whereas, like I say, other people like Jordan, everything about them is exclusive on a card. So I don't know. Yeah, Panini looks like they've got Shedeur Sanders. It'd be interesting. I think they were certainly expecting him probably to be much higher in the draft when they went after that. Yeah. So I was just at the Topps conference this past weekend, and they went over a lot of this sort of stuff, showing off previews of new cards and new products they're coming out with, and yeah, it's going to be interesting. They've got some pretty cool things and signers happening themselves. Some people who haven't been signing cards for a while, if ever, who are now going to be signing some Topps cards. So, yeah, it's a crazy time right now for the industry, but the end result is it's a pretty cool time for collectors because the opportunity is there.
Can you give us any of the breaking news on that, on some of those signers, maybe that we know?
Yeah, as far as like some entertainment signers, there's going to be some really cool stuff they're doing because they have like the Disney licenses and the Marvel licenses. So they're going to be bringing in some people to sign for that stuff that you may not have expected to see before. A good example is Monsters, Inc., some Billy Crystal and John Goodman dual signatures, which sound pretty cool. Yeah. There's going to be a lot of that stuff where they're bringing people in who didn't sign trading cards before, major actors who has some connection like to Disney. And you go, oh, yeah, I forgot he was the voice of a sidekick in a Disney movie 25 years ago. and now he's got 2 Oscars or something like that. They're bringing in a lot of those kind of people. So it's really going to be cool. The best thing I heard at the whole conference, which I don't think is any kind of industry secret, it's just something they should have done forever, which is kind of standardizing all product. So if you like Topps Chrome in baseball, or you like Topps Finest in football or whatever, it's going to be standardized across all the sports, all the offerings they have. The inserts will be the same, so you'll know if you're used to pulling something in Topps Chrome and you pull a Youthquake card, if you go over and buy yourself some Topps WWE Chrome or some soccer Chrome and you pull a Youthquake, it's got the same scarcity to it and roughly the same value that it had in baseball. All of the numbered cards, the color refractors are going to be standardized. So, green is numbered to 99 now in all products. It didn't used to be that way. You kind of had to guess from product to product what you were really looking for in the box.
Yeah, had to hit that book.
I think that's just a smart thing that somebody should have realized needed to be done 25 years ago.
Oh, absolutely.
I've got a quick
Fanatics is now committed to that.
I've got a quick question for you. Did you do, this is hard word for me to say, authentications? Do you authenticate autographs and signatures, things like that? Or do you know of?
We have JSA come to our shop as often as they can. JSA was acquired by CGC last year. They've kind of got them tied up doing a lot of stuff right now, so they're not doing as many store visits. We are on the list. As soon as they can get a guy for a free weekend, he will be back here at our shop to do authentications on site. Where that saves you is not having to ship it to them. And you bring the item in, you fill out the paperwork, you pay the fee, and they'll authenticate it. Within about an hour or two, you can come and pick your item back up. If it passed authentication, you'll get your certificate of authenticity that day. And if it's a bigger item, if it's a major signer, like, I don't know, if you've got Mickey Mantle or Elvis or something like that, you're going to get a letter of authenticity in the mail a little later.
A couple astronauts and a couple football players. And I used to work for CBS and I used to work for Fox. And and I had the opportunity of meeting a lot of these guys. And I've got pictures of me getting the autographs, but I would rather have it authenticated so that it have it, provenance to the whole thing.
Yeah.
So, I'd love for you to let us know when those guys come in. That'd be great.
Yeah, we'll do. Like I say, we've been on the list. The issue real quick was CGC is the big comic book grader and one of the big card graders. We're an authorized CGC store, only one in North Florida, I do believe. And but for years, CGC had no one to do autographs. So if you went to a comic book convention and you got Todd McFarlane or Stan Lee or whoever to sign your comic book, and you sent it off to CGC to get graded, they couldn't authenticate the autograph. They would grade your comic, and they'd put a little note on the label. It just says, Todd McFarlane's name written on the cover or something to that effect. And some of the other comic book grading companies had authenticators on staff. So if you sent to them, they could authenticate the signature. CGC, I guess, finally just said, we're losing some business to this. Let's just go buy JSA. And so now they have the JSA guys in-house. So they've had a ton of people from the last 25 years or so of comic book grading sending their comics back in and going, hey, now you can authenticate the signature and note on the label that it's actually autographed, not just written on there. So they've been very busy with that over the past year. Because like I said, they got 25 years worth of comics to catch up on.
Anything else, Schmitty?
No, that's good. All right. That's great to know.
All right. So, Aaron, I saw something interesting, set of cards coming out, not a set, but some inserts that are going to be in Bowman 2025 this year, and they're kanji cards. So the kanji cards, and they're going to cover like Otani, Yamamoto, Imanaga, Senga, Suzuki, and Matsui. And they are on the same kind of style as that 1955 Bowman on the TV.
That's cool.
They just look so cool. I'm going to have to come in and see and try to chase those guys down.
Yeah, they've been doing those over the past few months, over a few products, I do believe. And they're definitely coming out with more. They showed us some previews of that, where they're doing some more. Topps is kind of going more international now. And So they've got some more of the sort of anime style cards that will be coming out for different products, which look pretty cool. I know there's a Star Wars set coming out that way, and they showed off a little bit of the sports stuff as well. So yeah, it's a fun set. People like those. Like I say, they look like the 55 Bowman with the old television set, the wood grain around the border, and then you've got your animated player in the center. It's a really fun-looking card. I hope they don't keep them too scarce, because people would love to have a bunch of those, I know, as long as they're, kind of affordable. So maybe do 2 runs. Do like one that's limited, serial number, and then do one that's just out there for people to be able to collect and enjoy.
All right, Aaron, we got about 1 minute left. Let us know what's going on at Instant Replay this weekend.
Yeah, so tonight we got the Kids Club. Bring those kids down. We do very affordable breaks. Kids get a lot of good discounts. They trade with other kids. A lot of fun. That goes on at 6 p.m. Have them here at 6 p.m. so they can sign up and not miss out on the fun. Tomorrow we've got breaks in the shop at noon, opening up a lot of cool hobby boxes. We have Pokemon Trade and Play Night tomorrow night as well, and then some Pokemon League play going on Sunday at 5 p.m. So 3-day weekend, 4 events going on. It's going to be action-packed here.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Aaron, and we will talk to you next week.
Yeah, absolutely. You guys take care. Everybody out there, be good, be safe. Come see us.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Aaron Bearden, Instant Replay Sports Cards right here in Panama City, 23rd Street. Be sure to go visit him. Got kids trade card tonight, so if your kiddos are into the hobby of collecting cards, head on over tonight. We're going to take a break, and when we get back, I got my $2 bets, this day in history, and we'll ask everybody what they're looking forward to this weekend.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd. Between his dad, Dion, saying during the Super Bowl on multiple interviews, we will dictate terms. We will not play for certain teams. And then between Sanders, Shedeur, sandbagging interviews, nobody wants a celebrity backup quarterback. So now, was I surprised? Yes.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? We can typically replace them while you wait. Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? In many cases, we can have it back to you the next day. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, just south of Tractor Supply. The best place in town to take a leak.
Tired of flipping through channels and finding nothing good? Introducing Scorpion TV. Over 5,000 live streaming channels. Catch every game of the season with over 100 sports networks, including ESPN, ESPN Plus, the NFL Network, and Red Zone. Even pay-per-view events. Watch 400 local network channels from Panama City and most markets throughout the country. Fox, ABC, CBS, and NBC. It's more than sports. Scorpion TV offers premium movie channels like HBO, Cinemax, Stars, 200 plus entertainment and news networks, or watch thousands of movies on demand, all for just $45 a month when you use the ESPN NW promo code at checkout. Watch on up to 5 devices at the same time. Perfect for sharing with family and friends. Scorpion TV gives you everything you want for less. Cut the cord, not the fun. To score Scorpion TV, go to ESPNPC.com and click on the Scorpion TV logo. Don't forget our promo code ESPN NW.
Broadcasting from the Golf Plus studios, it's the Inside Drive. This is where heroes are created, legends are born, and dynasties forged. The Sports Talk Master, ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to Ryan Mulvey and the Inside Drive.
And we are back on the Inside Drive, coming to you from the Golf Plus studios here in beautiful Northwest Florida, Panama City, 104.3, 101.9 in beautiful Port St. Joe. James Pfeiffer, we got Paul Wilson, we got the Wildcat Schmitty coming to you from right here, beautiful Panama City. Braves on tonight. We will start our coverage at 6 o'clock. First pitch, 6:15. And the other Braves games over the weekends can be heard right here on ESPN 104.3. Saturday, 5 o'clock for pregame, 6:15 for the first pitch. Sunday, 4:55 for pregame, 6:10 first pitch. All three of these games will be against the Dodgers. And be sure to be tuned in this afternoon for the afternoon underdogs from 4 to 6 right here, ESPN Northwest Florida. And Monday morning, James Hale will return. 7 a.m., too early for me, but I'm sure some of you are up by then, so be tuning in to the Coach James Hale Show every morning on the weekday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Thunder Beach Bike Weekend this weekend, so be careful out there, everybody. Going to be a lot of extra vehicles on the road, so take your time going to wherever you are going to. And one more bit of business, the app that we have. Go to your Google Store, go to your Apple Store, download the ESPN Northwest Florida app. When you get the app open, hit the Enter Contest button, and right now we are giving away Mountain Dew t-shirts and ESPN t-shirts, and all you got to do is just hit one button, and you could be that big a winner with the t-shirt. So I'll roll into my $2 bets on the evening. My first bet of $2 will be in Major League Baseball. I will take the White Sox at plus 2.5. That's why I'm taking it at a plus 2.5. Usually it's only a 1.5, but if I can get to 2.5, I almost always take it because baseball games are usually still within one. So I'm going to take a chance right there, and I will take the over at 7.5. My $2 bet will make $6.60 if it hits. Paul, you got one for us?
Well, I was going to do one, but last time I did one, and the Warriors did not do well, so I think I'm going to sit this one out. I don't think anybody should listen to me about who to pick for who's going to win, because I don't have any idea. I don't think so.
All right, Paul, taking a little bit of a break. I respect it, my man. Schmitty, you got one for us? No, he's got a phone call for us, though, so we'll let him answer that phone. My next $2 bet, we got the Warriors at -5. I'll take the over for the game at 207, and Van Vliet for the Rockets, 15.5 points. I'm taking the over on that one. That's my big reach for the day. That $2 bet will pay out a grand $12 if it hits correct. What do we got, Schmitty? Hey, Colin, who do we got?
Hey, this is Coach O's, Rutherford High School. I just wanted to let the world know, let the Bay County know, and the Gulf County know that Rutherford High School, Bonta, Benet, and Wantang, they are the state champs for the 2A doubles in the state of Florida.
Excellent news, Coach Olds. Thank you so much for breaking that here. That is great. That is awesome, man.
Yeah. We won 6-3 in the first set, 6-4 in the second set. A lot of great talent, but we prevailed against them all this week. So, great job. Thank y'all for all your support, and go Rams.
And you said champion, right?
I said champion.
You said champion. That means local champs, Bay County champs. I love it.
What were the athletes' names again? Could you share that with us one more time?
Bonta Awantang and Benet Awantang.
All right. That sounds awesome.
Excellent news. Thank you, Coach Old, so very much for that local news. We love getting that kind of stuff here, my man. Got anything else for us today?
I've been so wrapped up with tennis. That's all I've been focused on this week. I know softball playoffs starts next week. There's a lot of great district matchups around, and I'm pretty sure I'll be on fire in somebody's game soon next week. A lot of great talent around in the area. A lot of great baseball, a lot of great softball, and of course a lot of great tennis. We have a great spring sports around in the area.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Coach Olds.
Make sure you give us a call next week on any of that. We'd love to hear from you. We'd like you calling in and letting us know all of the stuff that's going on local. We love local sports here at ESPN.
Oh, perfect. I'll call you guys on Monday or Tuesday. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Coach Olds. Coach Olds, ladies and gentlemen, local coach,
he's
local
down in
official.
Orlando right now.
You know,
so that was long distance. He's listening on our app.
Awesome.
And, that's why he called in.
Thank you, Coach Olds, for listening. Big praise for Coach Olds for coaching in the area and doing the even harder work of officiating.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I'd rather coach than officiate. The man does both, so the man wears many hats, and he does an excellent job with all of them. Moving on into my last bet of the day, we'll go over to the NHL. I will take the Jets at a plus 1.5 on the road. I'll take the over for the game at 5.5 against the Minnesota Wild, and I will take my $6 on my $2 bet. Now, I got a bet for the Derby, but I don't know what it'll pay out because I couldn't find an app service quick enough to tell me what my payout would be. But I am going to choose journalism for the win, Sandman for the place, and Flying Mohawk to show.
The Flying Mohawk.
I love the Flying Mohawk.
You didn't take that for the number one?
No, I couldn't. Journalism, I just think journalism's got it.
You couldn't find the odds?
I got the odds for each individual.
Yeah.
I couldn't find a computation for the odds of all of them together for win, play, show for a trifecta.
Okay.
So I'd love to hit that trifecta.
I love the trifecta. Love the box.
Love it.
Box.
I think Sovereignty's going to win, but there again, I picked the Warriors to win and close it out the other night, and they didn't do it. So maybe I've just ruined his opportunity or chances to win the Derby.
We're sorry about that, Sovereignty, and all the owners and trainers and everything. That's our bad.
Call for you.
We didn't mean to do it.
That's right.
All right, we will roll on into this day in history. It is May 2nd, this day, 1939. Lou Gehrig of the New York Yankees does not play against the Detroit Tigers. It is the first time in 2,130 baseball games that Lou Gehrig does not take the field.
The Iron Horse.
Amazing.
That's just amazing. I don't know if you'll ever see that kind of stuff anymore.
No,
I mean, I just
won't.
don't think they're built that way anymore.
No, load management.
Yeah.
Just the way the game's played now, you're not going to see it.
No, well, it's like the other day, John Smoltz was talking on the radio, and he was talking about that all those guys back in those days could throw in the upper to middle 90s, but they chose not to because they wanted to have a longevity for their arm.
Yeah.
And so, but now is, we need you to throw 100 miles an hour right now, today, every pitch, if you can. And I just don't think that kind of stuff, you're not going to see that anymore.
No, you won't. It's the game's just built different now.
Yeah, it's different. Changed.
It's not going to be that anymore. Now if you just see a guy play 162 for the year, that's a big deal. Hey, look, he played all games. I mean, you only got probably one or two guys per every team now.
Yeah.
That play 162, and you probably don't even really have that anymore.
Yeah, I wouldn't think so, especially with the 10-day IL now that they're given, to kind of rest your body, that kind of thing. So, I mean, you probably will not see that anymore ever again.
It's one of those really great stats that has been broken by the great Cal Ripken. But is anybody going to touch Cal? No.
Nope.
No.
I'll bet that. That'll be my bet.
There we go.
You want to put that on the bet? I'll stand by that one.
There's Paul's bet for the week. All right, 1970. Diane Crump becomes the first female jockey to ride in the Kentucky Derby. Her mount Fathom finishes 15th in the field of 17. 1978, Earl Campbell was the first man drafted in the NFL draft from the University of Texas, going to the Houston Oilers. This day, 1999, John Elway makes his retirement from the NFL known. 2010, the Cleveland Cavaliers' LeBron James becomes the 10th player in NBA history to win consecutive MVPs. And this day, 2015, American Pharoah rallies in the stretch to beat Firing Line by one length. It was an exciting race. I did have fun watching that race. And that was American Pharoah. And he did eventually come away with the Triple Crown. And was the first Triple Crown, right? For like 30-something years, 27 years, I think, was the difference between Triple Crowns there. A little bit of news for the Derby. We learned yesterday afternoon that Rodriguez had been scratched by owner Bob Baffert. That horse has gone out. He will stay open. His gate will stay open, and Bays will replace Rodriguez. Bays will be running from the 21st gate at 12-1 odds. And then Grande was scratched late last night by the Veterinarian Racing Commission for a cracked heel. He will just stay open. His gate will stay open. He will not be replaced, so we will see 19 horses running in the Kentucky Derby. Been a great show, everybody.
Yes.
This has been the Inside Drive from the Golf Plus Studios. I'm James Fife. Paul Wilson with us. Schmitty taking care of the board. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and hanging out with us. Enjoy the weekend, everybody.
Roll Tide.
Keep your stick on the ice.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
You still with your wife, or did she leave you?
No, she never leaving me, buddy. Hey,